Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a best of 5 between two of Europe's finest. Clem and Rainer here from the RSL, starting on Kill Switch, a map that hasn't made it into the map pool but was in the Team Liquid map contest number 20. It's a map with a couple of weird mineral spots that you coulda, woulda, shoulda mined out. Some stuff over here as well. So we see Rainer opening up with a gasless start here right now. No third base quite yet, as he's planning on maybe going for a quad queen opener is what I'm kind of feeling. Maybe he's trying to... Oh, he's wanting to expand towards the north side here. It's not quite ready for it. Okay, we're going to get a 35 hatchery, 36 hatchery. Bit of an odd opener here out of Rainer, but absolutely allowed. He has some links out as well to deal with this potential Reaper. Reaper is now going to try and check here on the top side. Will spot this hatchery. Has Clem seen the lack of a gas? Yes, he's absolutely seen the lack of a gas. He knows what's going on. How will he respond to this? Difficult to say. Triple CC so far. We get the starport in as well. And a factory pumping reactored Hellions most likely. It would be something if he goes for mines here. I have not seen it in a while. I feel like it's also not very good against Zerg, but you know, it's cool. The reason why it's not so good against Zerg is because Zerg always has queens in the base, it's natural anti-air, and they have overlords that can always spot what the hell is going on. So if there's like any amount of units, you're usually going to be fine as the Zerg player. So yeah, mine drops just not that powerful compared to the Hellion. Ooh, okay, we're gonna play the 2-1-1. Is this 2 car? 0 car. Whoa, wait, what is this? Oh, but this is very different. I have never seen Clem play this particular build order before. Is this... This is not Mac. There is a fast third gas. So someone new might think this is Mac, but we're not new. So this is like a cloak rush pretty much. And I think the goal here is to hit before the opponent has spores out. Like maybe you're gonna have like 5 to 10 seconds where Rainer will not have spores quite yet, depending on how greedy he decides to be. So I'm kind of curious to see where this is going to go. This is very different. We're not seeing any Hellions. So imagine your Rainer, right? Actually, imagine your Rainer. You're a good-looking Italian man, one of the best players in the world. And you see 0 Hellions. 0 Hellions. Now, you know that Clem loves playing these types of 2-1-1 build orders. And you want to be as greedy as humanly possible. If there's no Hellions, most likely there's just not going to be Banshees. So why would you build spores? You're not going to be building spores. So just now, he's going to be adding in those spores. Cloak is nowhere near done though. So I still believe this will be in time as long as the queens can make their way over to this area. I feel like Clem should have waited longer with this initial Banshee before sending it in. His mind game of skipping Hellions into Banshee was honestly kind of working. I feel like this had some serious potential, but now... because he showed that Banshee, spores are going down pre-cloak, and all of a sudden this just looks like a worse opener than Clem usually has. Like, it was a nice trick, but you know, you gotta really commit to the trick. It felt like he played it too standard, given the fact that this was supposed to be a trick. A Hellion skip into Banshee cloak, and then showing the Banshee pre-cloak. It's like, yeah, great trick, but... I mean, Rainer's gonna have more than 2 queens in the entire game, so he will be capable of dealing with a cloakless Banshee. Gonna have spores in every single base right now. A couple of roaches out. Infestation pit coming down so fast. What is this? 5 minutes and 25 seconds on that infestation pit. That is like anything before 6 is considered fast. So this is ultra fast. Double queens in the main base are gonna take a little bit of a beating here, but no drones are gonna go down. No creep connecting main to the net. Which could be an issue. I'd love to see a single tumor being plopped down here. This Roach Horn has taken a little bit of a beating as well so far in this game. As we're going to be following this up with a medevac finishing at 6 minutes and 8 seconds into the game. This is such a cool build order out of Clem. I'm a huge fan of this opener. I'm not a huge fan of the amount of damage it has dealt so far because he's killed a single worker. And I'm pretty sure that single worker is killed by the Reaper as well, but can never be sure enough. We're now going to go for a push out with... no upgrades except for Stim, a single tank, 2 Banshees with it as well. And this honestly is kind of going to hit like a truck. It is going to hit like a truck. 6 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. Here we go. Carapace not quite done yet as Rainer went for a bit of a Carapace rush over here. 1 Ravager is going to get sniped. I think Rainer wasn't mentally prepared for this. He's going to end up losing 1 Overlord, a Ravager. Hatchery is taking a beating here as well. 1-1 upgrades for Clem are honestly a little over halfway done. I'm not sure how useful they're going to be in this fight, but how useful do they need to be if you snipe the fort base? Clem's already building his own 4cc on position. I think he's in a banging spot right now. Absolutely. 1-1, combat shield, all about to finish up. Armory straight away coming in. Barracks 6, 7, and 8 as well. So we're not missing a beat here as Clem. This is insane. Insanely beautiful. This actually is insanely beautiful. What a build. Ultralisk Cavern now coming out of Raynor, so he wants to kind of rush into these Ultras. See if they can help him stabilize in this game. Yes, he's at 75 workers, but he's currently being outmined by a 67 worker Terran, as the Terran has 3 bases, the Zerg has 3 bases. So they're really lacking some places to saturate. Big Fungal's gonna connect with about 12, 13 supply over there. Roach Ravager is gonna get pushed back right now. 1-1 Marine Marauder versus 0-1 Roach. Apparently not going that great for the Roach, man. Clem is, I really like what he did here, build otherwise. Like I can't stress it enough. I'm such a huge fan of like these small variations of things that he's known for, just to throw your opponent off. Like this double medevac push, usually if you're going post Banshee, it's gonna hit at like 6 minutes and 50 seconds. But here it hit 6:30 with a tank as well, which is, this is just not something that we usually see. And like these 10, 15, 20 second windows where it feels like Raynor might have been prepared unit-wise, but position-wise and mentally, like he wasn't, it didn't seem like he was ready to get pushed. You know, he looks at the timer, it's like, okay, I'm not fighting for another 15 seconds. Let me just split my drones a little bit better or whatever. It's double Banshees now heading in towards the main base, seeing if they can still clear something over here. Answer seems to be no, as Clem's going to be pushing in here. Has 4 tanks in the back. 1-1 upgrades. Ultras are now popping out though, so Clem does need to be very careful. What is our infestor count? We have a single infestor. I mean, we're 1 good fungal away from this army just falling apart, right? And here comes the flank. Oh, this is kind of ill-timed, if you're asking me. This is kind of ill-timed. Here we go. Ultras now coming in from the side as well. Is Chitinous plating done? No, it's not. But Raynor feels like he has to go. Raynor perhaps feels like he can go. And he's going to be cleaning up all of these tanks. Now, of course, the follow-up question is going to be, where is our infestor, man? Infestor is in the back, does not have enough energy for anything, and now won't have enough HP to survive. No, will barely just stay alive. Good control on those individual Ultras, pulling them back as they get targeted down. But 2-2 is about to finish up here for Clem, and that is going to be an issue. Double Infestors on the way. No 5th base quite yet for Raynor. No 5th base quite yet for Clem, and as I say it, of course he throws it down. Gonna get a Ling run by now, trying to be sent out. I like it, but Banshees are gonna spot it instantly. Raynor's gonna pull this back. 5th base here on the high ground, very vulnerable to low ground tank, high ground marine drop, of course. Clem is going to be aware of that. Like the moment he sees that 5th base, I think it's going to be toast at an instant. We have a double drop heading in towards the main as well. Lots of dead areas in the main that aren't covered by spores, as these links are not going to be enough by themselves. Fungal's going to hit the Marauder Marine army in the front, and the Ultras are actually kind of pushing through right now. We do need another Fungal, specifically when we're fighting off creep. Like Ultralisk off creep are kind of like a fish on the land. I'm sure there are some fish that are great on the land, but I haven't met them quite yet. I'd rather meet a shark on the beach than a shark in the sea. And it's the same with these bio units. Much rather be fighting off creep over here. Clem does need to be careful with overstimming. There's some serious drug use over here out of the French Terran player. Ultras are going to continue swimming on land and honestly doing a pretty decent job. And you put your arm in the shark's mouth, it's still gonna bite it off no matter where it is. As we're gonna now get an attack over here on this fort. I'm not entirely sure about that. We don't have Banelings to clear SCVs. We don't have Fungals to catch the units. This seems like a useless attack over here out of Raynor. Raynor ends up losing 3-4 Ultralisk pretty much for free. I mean, it's not entirely free, but 12 SCVs. Yeah, there we go. GG gets called. Honestly surprising, not that Raynor left there, but the way that that game ended. It felt like Raynor got a little bit overconfident, or maybe he wanted to go for a desperation attack, but it felt like he actually was kind of stabilized. Clem overstimmed a little bit, was getting pushed back by those Ultras. I think once you have more Fungals, maybe you can add some Banelings into the mix, a 5th base. It's definitely possible to go into a later game at least, but Raynor perhaps did not feel like he had like the economic freedom to do that. Like it's easy to talk and when you're looking at this and you're like, oh, okay, ultras are doing quite well, but the reality is that Raynor had pretty sucky eco. And Clem was getting a 5th base, so maybe you feel some type of pressure there. I'm not sure how warranted it was, though. It's hard for me to say, but I understand probably why Raynor did it. It just don't think it really ended up being correct there. It's so hard to kill planetaries with no splash available. Like, if you have a couple of Ravagers, you can buy all the SCVs maybe. Or if you have like 7 to 10 Banelings, then you can clear the SCVs that are repairing. But otherwise, like clearing a planetary, that's a very serious task, and you need to take it serious as well. So we see Clem opening up with a bit of an SCV scout over here. Let's go into his first-person view. I'm a huge fan of just watching these games. At least the first few minutes in the first-person view. Always makes it very interesting. Okay, so he scouted. What has he seen originally here? So far he's seen the fact that this is a standard hatchery first, not a 15 hatch before Overlord. Now sees the 3rd base being built on location in the spot before the Overlord is what Raynor did over here. Sees a single worker still in gas. Wants to get that kill on the Ling. He's gonna get the kill on the Ling. Beautiful stuff. Gonna continue microing over here. And now wants to add a CC. There we go. 238 gets the CC. Very reasonable timing. And right now he wants to know, like, hey, are you gonna go for inject, or are you spreading creep? And if you're spreading creep, can I maybe do something about this? See a second barracks coming down instantly. No, sorry, a second barracks. That's a second factory. Ooh, is this mech? Is this mech? Is at least going to be a blue flame Hellion, perhaps? He's just doing this all of a single gas, by the way. So he can continue his production of Hellions. Also allows him to add in some more Marines, because he has more minerals left over. Look at the speed of switching here between the different screens. I'm so freaking fast at that. 3rd factory comes down. I think now it's gas time soon, no? I'm so curious what this is actually gonna be. Like, is this going to be... Oh, he's just going triple Hellions? Without a tech lab? No way. Is that a thing? He is. Wow. Okay, I haven't quite seen a build like this before. He's just going naked factory Hellion rush. That is wild. You always see blue flame with this type of stuff. And he's keeping these extra Hellions at home. Does not want to alert his opponent that he has more Hellions than standard. What a weird early game this is, to be honest. You know, the one thing that I would have loved to see is taking the second gas on the natural, which is considered quite standard in this matchup. And it would have maybe made it harder for Raynor to scout. Raynor luckily isn't scouting this 3rd gas right now. But that could have been, you know, could have been something there. Either way, more Hellions now on the way. Now we're getting a tech lab and another tech lab. And this is going to be like our first real attack, I guess. 10 Hellions, 4 minutes and 45 seconds into the game. There are 5 queens out only. This is like a timing attack with Hellions. I've never seen this before. Because the link count just is not going to be high enough. It's going to be 11 links against 11 Hellions. 10 Hellions are here at the front. There's a Reaper with it as well. Then it's like, wait a second, this is like too many Hellions. This is not standard. This is not normal. And a lot of Hellions are gonna die, don't get me wrong, but the links have all disappeared right now, and that leaves these Hellions with pretty much a free attack. This is such a cute build order here out of Clem. He's gonna be going into mech from here on out. Kills 9 drones total. Spore... The worst part is that Raynor doesn't realize that this is of a second factory. So he still is gonna add in the Spore. Maybe he's gonna even get Spore in the second base as well. That's so much money being wasted into stuff that he doesn't need. Because he's never seen this build before. He's like, wait, usually if you have more Hellions, you come with Blue Flame. Does he just have a new build where he just builds more Hellions? This doesn't make any sense. Raynor is so confused. He is not reading mech into this at all. He is not reading mech into this, and he just lost 20 drones. I freaking love this build. 2 very cool build orders here. in a row out of Clem, well prepared. And I think that is the one thing that you can usually criticize Clem for, is kind of the lack of diversity in his play. Triple CC, Hellion, Banshee, 85% of the time. But so far, if he has, like, I mean, the first game was Triple CC Banshee, but there were no Hellions. It was a different type of build order. Now we're getting that weird 10, 11 Hellion rush in the early game, getting himself 20 drone kills. Raynor way down, finishes his ground carapace, which is completely useless, by the way. Does not want that, does not need that. Carapace against mech is not what you want. You want attack upgrades. We often see double Evo researching both melee and range attacks. Barracks is spotting any type of run-bys on the far left, or maybe drops as well. It's going to be a combination of factors. As we have, double reactor, triple tech lab as a setup. 5 factory into armory. How the hell is Raynor going to be dealing with this? How the hell is he going to be dealing with this? Cyclones are out. We have no roaches. We don't even have a roach warren yet. First infestor now coming out. Like, good luck with Ling Queen defending this. Good luck with Ling Queen, my friend. You're going to need an insane surround. I love what he's doing, though. Saying, hey, maybe I can pick up some of your reinforcements, or maybe I can go for a run-by. Does not quite have enough vision here to see everything. And he's just down 20 supply. It's a serious issue. Clem isn't really committing to anything here either, by the way. He's really not committing to anything. This depot is lowered. And here we go. Raynor is waiting until things are going to kick off. Look at that. So now he says, hey, stuff is kicking off right now. You're not going to be paying attention to your natural, most likely. As, I mean, these links by themselves are just not going to be enough. It doesn't matter. Ling run by also hasn't been sending quite yet. Is still waiting. GG gets called Clem. Swift 2-0. I'm a huge fan of this series so far. Clem just... He's putting it in there, man. He's putting in the work. Some new builds. Some new styles. Seeing some mech out of Clem in general is a treat. I'm a huge fan of mech when you don't expect it. I think one of the worst things in StarCraft 2 is when the main meta game is mech. But I love seeing an incidental mech play. The accidental mech game is the best, in my opinion. And Clem is the king when it comes to that. So we're once again gonna go into... Actually, let's do first person of Raynor. So, if you're Raynor right now, I think the main worry that you probably should be having is the fact that Clem, before this series, has apparently completely switched gears and figured out that he can play more than one build order. Like, that is going to be a worrying discovery. Like, absolutely a worrying discovery. Because now, it not only forces you to play very well, because if you want to beat Clem, even when he's playing his default build, you need to be extremely tight. But you also need to be scouting well. You need to prepare for things that you don't even know exist. You didn't even know existed. So, this is just going to be really tricky, I think. This is just going to be really freaking tricky. Inject comes in. Oh, Reaper's gonna run by. Is he gonna get this Reaper? I think he might, no? Oh, dancing, baby. Floop. Like a slippery eel. Slides down that ramp. Okay, what have we seen so far? 2 Hellions coming out. That doesn't mean anything anymore, though, in this day and age, apparently. First creep tumor now coming down as we want to move over towards our third base. A lot of Zerg players stop doing the creep tumor in the natural as usually you get a queen, throw down the creep tumor instantly. Nowadays a lot of Zergs feel like they need much better eco, so they want to throw that first inject in the natural just to get a little bit more cash. That is our entire plan. So we're going to be playing Hellion Liberator right now. Very vulnerable to a roach all-in, but there's no roach all-in that's happening right now. Ooh. Clem's Hellions here, perhaps wanting to go for a run-by, but decided against it. And Overlord spread on the left side is good. Bottom side requires a bit of work. We need one more Overlord to kind of finish the job down there. There's a Marine on the edge. Is this going to be 8 Hellion? Yeah, it's going to be 8 Hellion here. Do we see Stim as well? Second Marine comes out. I think a Liberator is going to get spotted here, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look. Does he see the Liberator? He sees something flying across the map. Should know that it's either a Viking or a Lib right now. But he's not putting back the Overlord, so most likely he believes it's a Liberator. Are we going to get spores? We're going to get spores. Timely spores. Liberator spores. If I've ever seen them. Liberator spores. Okay. Let's do an overview right now. Liberator's going to go in towards the main base. Might be capable of actually getting a couple of drones over here on the third as well. Quick pull away as the larva still is vulnerable. Queen number 1 is going to go down. Transfuses were barely not available. And this spore is going to finish up. Fourth base not here yet. 3 of these Hellions extremely low. 3 of these drones are just gonna straight up die. This is risky, Clem. -1 Hellion over there. High ground Liberator. Getting another kill. Turning around. Raynor, is he paying attention? Yes, he's paying attention. Hellions now coming by at the same time, but 2 of the Hellions are so ridiculously low that this is going to be a serious issue. Like, if you lose these 2, all of a sudden a surround is very possible. Okay, 1 goes down. Where did the Lip go? Lip is gonna piss off, might just go home, set up shop over here on like a 5th base to just insta-deny that the moment a drone ever decides to walk there. 4th base now on the way for our good friend Raynor, who has the carapace coming in very quick, and we're playing a standard bio game here. 3 barracks, tank coming out, serious damage is being dealt here on this hatchery. As the... yeah, that link run bio is being set up. I think Clem realized as well. He's like, okay, I'm going a bit deep here. Giving my opponent the time to set up a run by, perhaps. Could be risky. Queen count is at 8, which is plenty as well. So could have pushed with queens over here. And then, boom, surround on those cars. Would have been a fairly big deal. What is our link count? 32. Significant. Definitely. Infestation pit coming down as well. So we're seeing the Ling Infestor style that Raynor has been playing for a while now. Where he completely skips Baneling Nest. The Zergs were discussing this style and they said they don't believe that building Banelings against Clem to defend his initial drops is worth it because he just snipes them. So you invest 100 minerals and 50 gas into a Baneling Nest. Ooh, hold that thought, as a huge run by here is going to actually connect with these SCVs. So far, not that many have gone down. Clem doing a very reasonable job here at holding. Refinery now under some heavy fire. Look at this. Raynor controlled this extremely well. It's gonna get a couple of workers here. 8, 9, 10 perhaps. Ooh, Tooling still alive. Gonna get 2 more workers. As Natural also loses a couple of workers. At the same time, Queen Ling is going to stop this little drop. Gonna get a surround here. And with the +1 carapace, it actually helps a lot against Marines. As long as they don't have the +1 attack. It's going to be a great deal here. Infestors now on the way out as well. So yeah, what I was going to say is that they believe that once Clem starts dropping, it becomes so hard to catch his Marines, and he snipes down Baneling. So you first spend 100 minerals, 50 gas on getting a Baneling nest. Then you need Baneling speed, costs more money, and then you need to start morphing Banelings, which costs even more gas. So you're just delaying your hive tech, you're delaying your better units, and you're not really getting anything done with these Banelings. Like, they just feel like wasted gas, really. As ooh, this is a very significant fungal here. Another pretty significant fungal is going to hit. Clem is going to lose all of these Marines, or well, that's not really all of them. All of them -7. As the Hellions are going to be pushing back them links. A Hellbat push could be scary. Drilling Claws is also on the way, so we're going to be massing mines right now. I wonder if just massing Hellbats, if you know someone is playing Ling Infestor, is worthwhile. Now, imagine you do a push right now with like 12 Hellbats. Like, good luck, no? How the hell are you going to fight that? I'm not seeing it personally. The Ling Infestor style seem really kind of vulnerable to this type of stuff. Like these offbeat builds, but Clem just wants to continue playing his standard. I mean, he's well within his right. He's up. He's way up right now. 4 CC is done. He's getting extra barracks already. Up about 20 supply. Here come the Hellbats. Mines burrowing as well. Carapace level 2 is on the way. We're going to go a full run by. That's perhaps going to force an all-in out of Clem into this position. I think that's the plan here. And he's using these fungals very defensively. Drones are now running away. This is going to cost our good friend Clem a lot of SCVs. He decides to lift the depot. That means the Lynx can't get in, but the SCVs also can't get in easily. Oh, at the same time, we have another fight over here. 18 SCVs going down. Oh, mine. No, not happening. As ooh, big fungal here hits. Another big fungal here hits. Do we have more? Can we chain this? Yes, we can. Clem not even trying to split here. He's just going to continue to push on forward. 47 workers to 71. 3 base versus 4 though in favor of the Terran. So this is kind of a lopsided economy here. One player has the has the workers, the other player has the bases, the mineral patches available to mine from. What does that bring us here in this game? Well, chitinous plating, ultralisk. How many infestors do we have? 6 infestors, 11 queens. 0 fungals available though right now. Going to need to gather a little bit more energy to get those fungals available. So we have a 7 marine drop into the main base. We'll snipe the spore at least and open the opportunity for Clem to clear the right side base on top of all of that. Planetary is morphing. We have 8 barracks, right? Yeah, we have 8 barracks. This is going to get picked up. Once again, Fungal is going to clear a lot of these marines. Liberator. Is this the early game lib? I think it is, no? Yeah, no Liberator has gone down yet. Oh, come on. Good lord. Actually need either a Spore or an Overseer over here to deal with this. At the same time, we have a Ling run by that was trying to do something. Like, these mines need to die. They absolutely need to die, but there's no Overseer right now. There is a Spore nearby. Could also be used. Come on. I don't think he's aware of the fact that there's more mines down here. Might actually get a couple of big hits. If it gets like 1 or 2 infestors, they could be big. It could be huge. It really could be huge. Oh, there we go. It's going to be -1 queen. Drone. And second queen because of the splash. This 5 marine drop is still trying to be annoying as hell. Raynor is up in supply. And is morphing an Overseer right now. That is something at least. That is something. Mines get cleared. We're 4 base versus 4 base. 69 workers to 66. So now that Raynor has the bases, Clem also has the SCVs again. We're kind of in an even game. Kind of. Like, there's no 5th base for Clem. I much prefer the army comp for Raynor. 4 Infestor, 4 Ultra. Like, we're going to need to see either Ghost or Liberators in my mind. And it's going to be pretty key. As Factory almost gets cleared by a Ling round by it. All of these mines manage to get a shot off, even if it's just 1 or 2 Lings. I mean, it just gets to recharge for free, right? It's free damage. Liberators now being added into the mix. I think Clem believes he's behind, but I think he's ahead because of the worker count. Like, Clem here is playing like a Liberator mine. Like, he's playing. He doesn't want to go into Ghost because he feels like maybe he can't put on enough pressure anymore. Then Fungal's gonna connect. Medevac +4 marines go down. So -6 supply there at an instant. Lings are going to force these mines to shoot, which is pretty neat. Pretty tight. Fungal at the bottom. Can we get it? Fungal at the top. Yes, we can. We have a couple more where that came from. Look at this, man. Oi, 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 oi. Talking about a fungus infection. That is not looking good. Clem just lost his entire army. He actually just lost his entire army. That's it. Just like that. 5 more fungals on top of the army and Raynor's just gonna walk in. He's gonna say, hey, I don't think you have any units remaining. There's currently 6 Ultras and 9 Marauders. Naturals being butchered here by one of these Ultras on the loose. Freaking Jurassic Park. These guys are going ham and the humans stand no chance with their little drills. Still some Fungalers kind of floating around, waiting for another opportunity. We can have 1 on Burrow over here, perhaps coming in from the back. GG gets called as Raynor wins game number 3. This game 4 brings us another triple CC out of Clem here. I'm wondering if Raynor is going to continue with the Ling Infestor style that he showed us here in the third game. It wouldn't be completely surprising. As I said, we've been seeing a lot of this fast carapace into Infestor. I think there is an issue. To me, it smells like an issue that there is such a big sign that it's going to be the Infestor Baneling skip style with that fast carapace upgrade. So I'm not sure how reactive you can be as a Terran against this. So you see a fast Evo. Is that something you can respond to? I'm not sure. As Clem's going to try to go for a double Hellion run by in towards the main. Very reasonable response here out of Raynor though. It's going to be losing just a single drone so far. Yes, loses a lot of worker mining time. As 2 extra cars now show up in the natural. A couple of Lings are going to try to deal with that. As more Lings are going up into the high ground. Finish off this bad boy. That is minus 2 cars. Reaper stays alive. But hardly any drones end up dying. These cars take a bit of a beating too. And once more the follow-up is going to be a Liberator. So Clem coming in with a second Liberator build. Not going for the Banshees. And we see that Evo Chamber timing once more. That Evo Chamber... Ooh, up, that's a surround. Up, that's a surround. There you go, baby. 2 more Queens coming in as well. So the Lib now shows up. There's not a single Spore out, but plenty of Queens to go around. Link count is at 9. As we're going to get 2-3 worker kills before Raynor realizes. Queen's going to be moving on towards the side. As the Lib re-sieges. Either in the 3rd or towards the natural. It's going to go into the 3rd base. Raynor cannot find the sweet spot here. Hellions are looking for damage still as well. Oh, there we go. Hellion's not quite going to get it. 8 cars total. 2, of course, have gone down. So only 6 remaining. Natural now under some fire. Spore's about to finish up, though. I think this is going to be the end of Clem's harassment pretty freaking soon. As the Hellions are going to get a couple more kills here on the Lynx. Spore is going to be moving over. Clem instantly on sieges. He is so fast with that Liberators. The Hellions now drive by. Lynx are not in position. Clem is going to commit here and is going to get a bunch of workers. He is going to get a bunch of workers. This Queen is going to kill that Liberator. So that's something. Ooh! Clem did not want to commit there. Clem did not want to commit there. 3 drones only going down. I could be wrong, but I feel like a commitment into the natural could have been good. Instead, we're going to get a couple more worker kills in the main base, but perhaps really just a couple, as 2 more workers do end up falling here. And look how measured the response was out of Raynor. He added more drones as there were Hellions in his main base, realizing that eventually they were going to run out of steam. Perhaps a bit too measured in a way. 8 drones, 10 drones. I gotta get another one. No, don't think so. Yes, think so. Infestation Pit goes down 6 minutes and 25 seconds into this game. Carapace hasn't started. I think Raynor forgot about it. I think he wanted to. The intention was there. But just because an intention is there doesn't mean it's going to happen. 4 CC starts extremely quickly into this game. And we have a Ling run by now being set up. And this is still a double drop that you're going to need to deal with. And it could be I who's the idiot, but I am not seeing how the hell Raynor's going to deal with this. He has no upgrade ready. He can't get this 5th base up. He's supply blocked. These Overlords are actually in a pretty dicey spot as well. Transfuses need to be good. They are good. They are very good. And a medevac is going to get taken out. That is exactly what Raynor needs right now. He needs that 2 or 3 more times to get himself into a decent spot. Not a good spot, a decent spot. First Infestor now out on the way. So we're going to go into Ling Infestor once more. Double drop is heading out. Tanks stay at home. Extra barracks being added into the mix as we see a swap with a factory onto a reactor and an Atrax before second factory. This is not very common out of Clem. I think he wants to play pretty high tempo. He sees there's very little creep right now and says, hey, Mines plus Marine Marauder might be a golden combination for me. And I think he might just be right. I think he might just be right. Gonna get the double Marine drop over here. One upgrades against 0-0 is of course a huge issue. Single drop still on the bottom side as all the links now moving over. I think Clem is waiting for that moment. He sees the extra links and that's going to trigger this. There you go. Yeah. Clem is predictably good. Predictably makes the correct assessments every single time and executes at such a high level. Gets another pickup as he denies his opponent's 5th. Has his own 4th base going up, 74 workers to 70. Raynor is more than in a world of trouble. There's no escape boat anymore away from this world of trouble. His spaceship has been stranded, and Jabba the Hutt is in charge of trying to repair it. I don't think Jabba the Hutt is qualified. Let's have a look though. Raynor here coming in with a good fungal, but this position is tight. This position is hard to engage into. Marines are gonna go down and Medevac's actually being targeted down. Solid play out of Raynor. He's removing a little bit of that aggressive drop potential at least. Queens largely stay alive and Infestors stay alive. Links have fallen. Okay. Let's go, Jabba. Let's see what we can do here. This is gonna get stopped. 5th base might just go up. Adrenal Glands on the way. Do we have an Ultra Cavern? We have an Ultra Cavern, and Ultras plus Infestors so far in this series have been a pretty tight combination. Clem, of course, is at a way higher worker count, and that could be a problem. A 2nd starport now on the way. We have vehicle plating coming in, as well as a 5th command center, and this is a serious move out. Oh, that is such a serious move out. I don't quite understand how Rainer's gonna be dealing with this. And he's not. He's not gonna be dealing with this. I think that is the realistic answer right now. We have a double Liberator set up as well over here on the top side. 5th base is gonna get taken out as Clem is moonwalking towards victory. He's doing it in style. As this 5th CC is about to finish up, we have a significant Marine Marauder force over here as well. Liberator's gonna try to take out one more Queen as the middle base is gonna get cleaned up. No, there is enough here to back this up. Retargeting on the mines is so stellar. Once again, Clem with just phenomenal gameplay. No chitinous plating for these Ultras. Big Fungal is gonna connect, but you're gonna need 6 more Fungals and 5 more Ultras. And those numbers aren't there. We have 2 more Fungals remaining in the mix. We have 1 more Ultra without chitinous. And an Ultra without chitinous is like a gladiator without his sword, without his equipment. Probably still a pretty strong guy, but be much better with his equipment, as this Ultralisk is also going to end up falling. And that means that I think Clem is going to be pushing in over here towards a big fat W in this series. Great plays out of Clem. Just so solid. You've seen some nice build order variation, especially in the first 2 games. Twice these Hellion Liberator builds, and so much damage being dealt. Just this entire series again and again and again. 6th base comes up, and just relentless pressure here out of the Frenchie. This Fungal is going to connect, but it doesn't matter. There's no units to follow up with. And just like that, Clem is going to be winning game number 4 in a very, very dominant fashion. And Rainer can't believe it. He's wanting to stay in, but he just doesn't have the tools. GG gets caught.